Connor, still some hockey to be played left, but it looks a lot like Winnipeg will be your first round opponent. Does that add anything to the mix when you get set to face them head to head?
Well, like you said, there's lots of hockey left to be played. Lots of things still to be decided. But of course, when you're playing a team that might be a matchup later down the road, I think you always want to make sure that you bring your A game.
You guys are 6-3-1 in your last 10, which is the best 10-game stretch of any of the North Division playoff teams. But you've only played three in 15 days. So does it feel like you're kind of on a roll, or do you kind of have to reestablish that once you get back at it?
Yeah, I mean, it never, when you come off of these little breaks, it almost doesn't really matter what you did before. I think, it's almost a reset, which can either be a good thing or a bad thing. And in our case, I think it's a bad thing. I think we were playing some good hockey, but ultimately we've gone through breaks like this before, and we've come out and we've played well, and we've come out and we haven't played well. So, we obviously know which one we want to do, and obviously a very big game for us tomorrow night.
Yeah, you're stepping into I think 8 games in 14 days. A couple of weeks of four and sixes. Does this break help with that, or once you're into that fourth and sixth, doesn't matter what you've done a week before that?
Well, I mean, anytime you get a break, it's always nice to rest the body and the mind. I think it for sure helps. Can I predict how you're going to feel? When you're in the middle of that 8-game and 14-day stretch, I don't think you can. I mean, sometimes you feel great. You're in a nice routine and a rhythm, and other times you're getting tired. So kind of all depends, but you have to make sure that you're looking after yourself for sure.
Tony Barr, Oilers TV.
Hey, Connor, Ryan McLeod joined you guys at practice today. Can you quickly comment on the season that he's had so far, and in what element on the ice can he really help out this club?
Well, he's obviously had a tremendous season, and very well deserved call up. I think even coming off of a week break, I thought he looked good out there today. I think he can definitely bring some size, bring some speed and some skill, and he can almost be like Yama was for us last year, where he just brings a little bit of a jolt of energy into our lineup. So I think we're really hoping for him to play well, and I think he can do it.
Speaking of jolt of energy, it always looks like he's smiling and having a lot of fun with you guys on the ice and sometimes off the ice as well. Can that be contagious for your club?
Well, first and foremost, he's a great kid. I think he's just someone that you like to be around. He like you said, he's got that nice hockey smile that everyone loves to see, and I think he loves the game. So it's always good when you can bring in a guy like that.
Daniel Nunez-Moman, The Athletic.
Hi, Connor. Just to kind of touch on McLeod, I mean, what recollections do you have of your first game and the excitement that kind of comes with that as a young guy?
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of excitement. There's tons of nerves. So he's going to get to experience all that at some point. But it's something that's fun to go through. I think it's your dream come true to play in this league, and when you get a chance to do that for the first time, it's something that you'll never ever forget. So, he's got some good days ahead of him for sure, and hopefully he can build on what he's done in the American League.
So whether he comes in or not tomorrow, it sounds like soon. I mean, now you have Dmitry Kulikov into the mix, some injuries. What are some of the complications and challenges of kind of their lineup switching up a little bit with just 11 games to go and trying to iron that out before the playoffs here?
I mean, there's always going to be guys in and out of the lineup. I think, in a year like this where, things have been so unpredictable, and we've had a whole taxi squad, and we've never had more guys on a roster. So, I think the guys have done a phenomenal job of keeping themselves ready when called upon, and staying upbeat when maybe it's not their number on the board for the lineup. So I think it's a major credit to those guys, and I think whoever plays can do a job.
Jason Gregor, TSN 1260.
Connor, you've talked before how you're obviously a fan of the game. with only playing divisional games, have you watched other divisions more or other teams than you normally would, or have you gone the opposite and you're really only focused on the North?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I think it's gone the other way where you kind of only focus on your division, and I haven't got a chance to watch too many games of the other division, but you obviously know who the teams are, and there's some great teams around the league. But obviously, first and foremost, our focus is on the North Division.
And just in the last week here, your games, the Toronto-Winnipeg games, there seems to be a little bit more ratcheting up of the intensity. Definitely the Montreal games felt like more of playoff hockey. You've been in the playoffs before. Is it ramped up more this year because, you're meeting teams now for like the 8th, 9th, 10th time, and there just is more annoyance than there would be in a normal year?
Absolutely, I think that's the case. I think you're seeing that around the league. You're definitely seeing it in the North Division where that rivalry is starting to build. I think, for us to play a team like Toronto, Montreal, or Ottawa, a team that we would only see twice a year, and sometimes if you miss that game, you might not see them at all or once. So there's not too much of that rivalry. But after playing a team, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, I think you're obviously going to see that. So on that, with the combined jostling for position. Teams are trying to get themselves back into the race and have got themselves back into the race. I think, it all makes for some good hockey coming down the stretch.
Jack Michael, 6:30 Ched.
With all the disruptions to the schedule, especially when you were, kind of rolling there, what does it say that, your team hasn't lost back-to-back games in 6 weeks? I mean, for all we're out of rhythm, there hasn't been. You managed to stay out of low points.
Yeah, I think that's so important is finding a way to follow up losses with wins or getting points. I think you can't go back-to-back games without getting something. So for our group, I think we've done a good job of that of late. It's something that we've definitely struggled with in the past, where we can get a little streaky, where you win 3 and then you lose 3, and nothing really happens. So finding a way to kind of nip a loss and find a way to get a win.
And then, is there any area of the game that jumps out in the next 3 weeks that you'd like to see, fine-tuned maybe more than others, just heading into the postseason? Or are you pretty happy with how it's trending?
Well, you obviously want your game to get better. I think there's aspects of our game that can do that. I think defensively, obviously we want to be dialed in, and something that we always talk about and focus on each and every night. So for us, I think just continuing to dial that in. I think specialty teams, you want to be going on all cylinders, and and you can put your best foot forward come game 1.
Ryan Rashog, TSN.
Connor, with the fans not being in the building, how much difference does home ice advantage make, you think? And how crucial is it to get it, if you end up in a 7-game playoff series against the team?
I think it kind of depends on your matchup. I think, because at this point, all home ice does is really give you last change. And I think, there's teams that want to match up hard. There's teams that don't really care what the matchup is. So, if you're getting a team that's matching hard, I think, you obviously want home ice advantage. Other teams, it might not matter as much, but at the end of the day, I think you want to sleep in your own bed as many times as you can, and that's an advantage in itself.
I'll follow up a little more specifically then. You're jostling here with Winnipeg. The way these games have gone against them this year and the way the matchups have gone, do you think it will be something significant in a series against Winnipeg?
I mean, you want to finish as high up in the standings as you can. I think everyone knows that. We're no different. We want to, second or win the division. I mean, obviously the Toronto's pulling away, but you want to finish as high as you possibly can. So, for us, we definitely want to finish ahead of them, and but if not, it's really not the end of the world. But we want to play our best hockey going into the playoffs, and if you're doing that, that usually means you're winning games, and if you're winning games, you're getting points and moving up the standings. So, kind of all goes together.
Last question, Reed Wilkins, 6:30 Ched.
Hi, Connor. It looks like Ryan McLeod will make his NHL debut probably this week. I know you've seen him in practices and in camps. Just what are your impressions of him and what he could add?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you definitely his size, his speed, his skill level. And just maybe some energy into our lineup. I think would help.
Thank you.